everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, a very good defense will be on the field. The Seahawks are top 10 in fewest points allowed, and they'll be up against the Raiders offense that wants to prove it can do some damage. What a surprise here. There's rain in Seattle. We're off to Century Link Field to link up with our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at Century Link Field in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Aldon Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Now, I know we're only 2 plays in, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, something has to change with the protection, and they can't wait to halftime to make an adjustment.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a first down.
This is fielded at the 27. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. So here are the Raiders now with great starting field position. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson off to the races. And all the way in for the touchdown. Adrian Peterson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bull.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, that 2-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you got the thing locked in pretty well. You got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They run it with Carson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. Quentin Coples in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Here's Peterson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground. And if you're an Adrian Peterson fan, that's the sign that you want to see right there on the other end. They got to learn to get him down, or this could be a long one.
And it's also the sign that his team wanted to see. Him making that type of a run, having a force and an impact on the game that early, that really demoralizes the defense because they realize it could be a long game trying to get him on the ground.
Now Peterson takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing his car on third down. Throw left side complete. It's Cook. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. The Bills have taken the early lead. Colin Kaepernick leading the charge offensively. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 6-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Back to the ground, Peterson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Adrian Peterson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
They'll let Peterson try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. So let's glance at a player spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to
going forward. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Navarro Bowman in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Third and long. It's Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And look who, the former Seahawk first-round pick, Bruce Irvin, in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. And taken at the 46. Nifty footwork at the 45. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the second time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
More. You talk about fantasy a lot, but you don't. Why don't you just play? You know,
I'm not good enough to play the fantasy game. I enjoy watching you do it.
You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, it's a champ in my book.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Aldon Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Rush coming, and he's taken down. William Hayes in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 43. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Around the NFL, second quarter in Santa Clara. And the Bucs are out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Peterson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now a run with Peterson. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. A 10th carry now for Peterson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now they'll throw with Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. The final shot here before half for Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Seth Roberts, as time expires in the first half, and the Raiders add on to their lead. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen. But when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding the situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Seahawks are not moving the ball through the air for a second straight week. The Raiders' defense will hope they can force that trend to continue in the second half. All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Now 1st and 10, Peterson gets into the clear, and he'll end up sprinting into the end zone. Raiders take the early lead. 1st and 10, Peterson's going to show off his speed, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. As they move out in front, 14-0. Seahawks with the ball early in the second. Irvin's got the sack here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Raiders with the ball late in the half. Carr is going to find his mark, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. Raiders up now by 22.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. Spinning past him. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. Carr now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts, and that'll bring up second down.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Second down following the incompletion. Throwing again. Carr. And he comes back with one complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And quickly they get to the line. On first down, Carr. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And Cook has it, left side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Throwing on first down is Carr, and that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there, In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
10 yards still left on second down. To throw again. Carr. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be knocked down sideways. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
That was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Carr now on 3rd and goal. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That's a tough one not to hang on to on 3rd and goal, but good job defensively to get there and jar it loose.
Agreed. That was really, really nicely done because there's no pass interference on the play. Timing excellent to get in there and knock it away. A win for the defense, and it brings up 4th down.
And my goodness, this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going.
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. And an alley to run.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Forced out to his left. And now running right through it. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the silver and black continue to roll. So they're going to go for 2. Here's Carr. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They're on to the second half now down in Miami. And it's now the Bears leading by a couple of touchdowns in that one. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. This is Carson. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Wilson throwing on third and long. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Take it at the 37. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a handoff looking right. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Throwing now is Carr. And brought in by the tight end Cook. A Raider first down, 17 yards. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now they try the right side here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jared Cook, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Raiders are pouring it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. On second down, here's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Seahawks on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught. Baldwin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And to give this time to the tailback. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Five yards left for the offense. It's second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got room to run past the 20. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have recovered. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll make it third down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. It's in the fourth quarter down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Jarvis Landry, a touchdown catch in that ball game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Finding room inside the 40. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Carr going to throw here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cook. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Into the red zone. It's Carr. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Carr will try it again on second down. Flush to his right. Spins past it. And now running right through it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Carr now to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. Steps away to his left. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for our visitors, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the